Welcome to Project Geospatial. I'm Adam Simmons, back with Courtney Miller for Late Night Geo. Welcome back, Courtney.
Hi.
Yeah. So as I repeat every night, Late Night Geo's show where we sometimes bring on random guests. We haven't done that in a while, but we also talk about just general geospatial news for the week. And we haven't been on for 2 weeks, but we don't have too much to share tonight. But anybody who watches the show is welcome to hit us up at Project Geo Media on Twitter. Send us a private message and we'll just bring you on the show and talk. But in the meantime, we'll just go over topics. And even after the show is done, you're welcome to hit up the Twitter account and we'll still bring you on either way or any other future night that you're available. So with that said, we're just going to hop right in it. How are you doing tonight, Courtney?
Good. It is beautiful weather here in St. Louis. So it is time to get out there and start geocaching and heading out into, explore and get outside. So hope everybody out there is going to do the same thing.
Awesome. Yep, it is great over here too. The first thing I want to talk about is the GeoConvergence Workshop, which just happened this week, May 18th through 20th. If you didn't get a chance to watch it, you can go to the website, geoconvergence.org, and you can actually watch the previous sessions that happened. It's a very, very robust program, lots of people, lots of speakers, and you can check it out. So lots of good things. Their website, they have the show available. Once again, geoconvergence.org, and you're welcome to watch it. Project Geospatial was working with AGS on this in the background, and we'll see if we can push this through our archive feed as well, as in addition to going to their website. So,
did you have any favorite sessions from the GeoConvergence?
Let me get back to you on that. No, I don't want to ruin it for anybody. I'll watch it first, and then actually, how about anybody let us know, and we'll go over it. I'll admit I do like seeing NGA's pieces to continuing to watch what's going on. So they have some presentations here, and I know that they worked with the National Science Foundation as well. So
cool.
Yeah. So go check it out. And we'll have a conversation with it perhaps next week after everybody's had a chance to watch the whole thing. I want to talk about next is a couple of things that happened this last week is 2 satellite providers announced they've had first look on their satellite imagery platforms. The first one is Capella, which Capella launched on the SpaceX Starlink mission. And so they launched one of their satellites, piggybacked right on that mission. And this is a first light image. So first image taken on their 50 centimeter SAR platform. And it captures the Erez border crossing between Israel and Gaza 1 hour before the ceasefire happened. So check that out. That's looks like a border checkpoint right there. This is the facility, and this is the border crossing right here between the two areas.
The SpaceLink launch wasn't that long ago, right? Didn't you cover that?
They happen quite frequently actually. SpaceX for Starlink. I don't believe we covered it. But the last one, Starlink 26, that one happened. Let's see when that one happened. That one happened May 8th. Yeah, looks like it happened May 8th. So it just happened 2 or 3 weeks ago. So nice. This, what likely happened is they launched the satellite. Capella had their launch happen, orbited a couple times. They also probably established their link, and then, even though that this image is first publicized, you can tell by when that said it was 1 hour before the ceasefire. I had to look at what the ceasefire is, but this might not have been too recent. It might have happened like a week or 2 after launch. I honestly don't know when the ceasefire happened, so I have to figure that out to know exactly when they took this image compared to when they launched it. So I doubt it happened like yesterday or anything like that. So very cool. I mentioned there was more than one satellite who had a first light announcement. The other one was actually Airbus that also announced. Airbus actually has an electro-optical, so a 30 centimeter native resolution image from Airbus. They typically do a resampled 50 centimeter image resolution on their Pleiades constellation. This is their Pleiades Neo, so their actual new smaller sat constellation for Airbus, and they launched. I don't know when they launched this one, to be honest. There's not a lot of details. I can probably click on this one to find out. But here's a few of their first light images. I'm not sure. It's not really first light, more like the first images taken. So Airbus has been doing this a while. So you don't need to they don't really need to advertise the very first image. And a lot of platforms, the first image is like a test image, and sometimes they're embarrassingly don't want to release it. So they just say, this is the first couple images. And this is so obviously Airbus picked ooh, here's some really good landmarks to showcase, right?
Yeah.
So great pyramids here. What do we got here? This one is
that is that the Seattle Needle? Is that the Space Needle?
That is not the Space Needle, Courtney. That is definitely the Space. No, this is, oh boy, come on, chat room, who probably is not watching because we forgot the advertise tonight. I want to say this could be in Hong Kong or China, actually. I might be wrong.
Yeah, it does kind of look like, yeah, I see what you're saying. That looks like maybe Dubai or something?
No, it's not Dubai.
Okay.
No, it's too green for that.
True.
But yeah, I'm guessing this could be, it's not, I have an idea, but I can't figure it out from the top of my head.
I was going to keep throwing guesses obvious. Out there.
Yeah, I know. I'd fail the GeoGuessr quiz that's out there. Top of my head. So this is obviously I'm going to take a wild guess and say this could be the U.S. Capitol building, but I could be wrong about that. Reason why I say there's a lot of Capitol buildings that look a lot like the U.S. Capitol building, but isn't. But there's these.
Yeah, it certainly does look like it.
Yeah. So if I actually go to,
let's see if we're right.
Sorry,
it is hard to tell. It is hard to tell because how often do you think about the roof color of your Capitol building?
It's definitely the U.S. Capitol building. I shouldn't be so. I should be more confident in my call outs here. So if here's the actual U.S. Capitol building.
Yeah. So blue would be the answer to the color of the roof.
Well, I don't want to say the color of the roof. I'm thinking the grid of the sidewalk here and a few of the other things on the outside, the pattern around it.
Mm-hmm.
So simple as that, and the landscaping. So definitely, I called it the first time. I just need more confidence in my answer there. Bad analyst. I need more confidence. So what else do I got here? Do you have another one here? Yeah, here we go.
Oh,
yeah. I want to say it's obviously my first guess would be the wheel over in London, but there's a lot of. I don't think this is the wheel in London. This could be. I wonder if this is
in Paris.
Vegas. It could be Vegas. No, now
can you pull it up a little? Let's see.
Pull what up?
I can't see it as well. Can you click on the image and see if I can get a little bigger?
Not successful.
So I can take a highly uneducated guess. It is surrounded by, it looks like, hotels.
It could be Vegas. I'd say Vegas. They got the big wheel down here somewhere. Where is it? So now we're trying to guess. We're playing GeoGuessr on Late Night Geo tonight. That's what we're doing. I just turned it on 3D, and I'm actually attempting to look for. Of course, that's Paris right there. I think it's in Vegas. I think it's that giant wheel in Vegas, and this is it right here. I bet this is it. So,
yeah, let's see.
The high roller. This could be it right here. The problem is this imagery is outdated in Vegas.
Where's the water source, though?
That is a good question. You might be right on that. I'm probably wrong. I'm probably so wrong.
I think it might be La Grande Roue at the Paris Ferris wheel.
You think it's a Paris Ferris wheel?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's set that in. Where is it?
Let's see.
Google Maps for the fail here because I can't seem to find anything.
Okay, we can do this. It's Rue de Paris. R-O. Oh, let's see. I can't spell. U-E.
Up there it is. There it is. There it is right here. Where's the water source, Courtney?
I know. Oh, God. It looked like there was a water source on, like, and there's some of the.
We're going to be looking at every Ferris wheel in the world to figure out where this thing is.
Yeah, we were. Oh, gosh. We are really off. How many Ferris wheels do they have? It's right next to a water source.
No, this is huge. This could be so. All right, let's see if there's any others. If not, I'm gonna click on this link and see if it takes us to something more direct. Okay, that's the pyramids again. So let's go to this link and see if it tells us.
Oh, try Santa Monica. There's one
it tells us the answers. It's in Dubai.
Oh, didn't I say that at the beginning?
You said it for the other one. You said, guess what? This is Shanghai, China.
Oh man, we should have guessed on Dubai.
I like this game. I see it. We need to start picking up. We need to each choose, go into Google Earth, pick some random spot, and see if we can guess each other's landmark.
I will always be wrong, and you might be right sometimes. But we'll have a good time trying.
We can't just be like some obscure thing too. We have to choose something that is well known.
Honestly, the sheer quantity of hotels surrounding the wheel in Dubai should have been the tip off.
I didn't even know they had a wheel in Dubai. I know they have like pretty much everything else. So, but no, this is this Shanghai Tower or whatever it's called. I kind of had a feeling it was it. Once again, I knew it was in China or Japan, but I didn't remember where exactly this was. So that's pretty.
I agree. This is a fun game. We pick like a different like imagery company each week and go through.
Well, that's hard because I don't have access to all their archives. The best thing I can do is
they might put some stuff on the website. So.
Like that. Yeah, that's true. But then that's pretty limited.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't like shopping around too much. But we'll see. Maybe we can get access to the imagery for Project Geospatial just for the sake of the geo guessing game that we can present to our audience. So we can make a live pick, put a poll out there.
Yeah.
Let's see. Okay, well that was fun briefly. Our show is still early on, even though I don't have too much to. Oh, you can actually zoom in on the imagery here. That's kind of cool. See how close you get with this 30-centimeter image. 30 centimeters is pretty good. Unfortunately, if I zoom in here, it's going to have this appearance that's looking pretty fuzzy, only because this isn't a full resolution image that I'm looking at. This is just a. This is just the JPEG. So that means that when I zoom in, it's not gonna resample or rescale per se. So that's too bad. So I would love to see how this really looks at full detail. Well, congratulations to Airbus for their Pleiades Neo launch and first light images, as well as Capella Space's new SAR imagery. Both amazing resolutions, and I can't wait to see more of those images going forward. Next thing I have to show is I actually have found this cool, interesting link, monitoring SDG7, which I think is an initiative for some type of monitoring energy, I believe. I got to look up SDG7, what the actual policy is or global initiative for that is. And feel free to look that up on the side for me, Courtney, while I'm reading through this article.
All right, I'll look it up here.
SDG7.
SDG7, okay.
Yep, SDG7. What I found interesting for this is they were using nighttime imagery, whether that be from NASA's, what they call it, NASA's Black Marble, which is their night lights observation, as well as some, let's see, there was another satellite, the Jilin-1 constellation. So if I look that up real quick, and honestly, I haven't kept track of this one. This is a Chinese satellite, and I believe this one does nighttime imagery, which is actually really, really fascinating. So I guess the Jilin-1 satellite has been up for several years, actually. Looks like it's been up since, some version's been up since 2015. But what I found it fascinating, usually from a a completely open perspective. I'm used to monitoring nighttime lights from the perspective of NASA's VEERS and MODIS satellites, where they're infrared looking, and that's what the black marble is based off of. They're using their satellites or this satellite constellation to view the specific, the actual lights themselves in the electro-optical arena. So not specifically infrared. And they're doing analysis of each of these areas. Now, I always thought, I always said, hey, there's a whole 12 or however many hours, 10 hours of the 10, it's not even 12 hours on each side of nighttime, daytime, but there's a whole dark side of the day that people don't monitor, and there's a lot of activity goes on that could be very, very useful to the industry. And looks like people are finally starting to explore that option commercially more than they ever have before. And this is actually pretty detailed. They're monitoring street lights. They're looking at, finally analyzing the lights that are coming out of certain areas like hospitals and things like that, and even monitoring things like, I believe up here, the Zatari refugee camp. So by the way, the camp is home to 78,000 refugees. And this is actually I remember this when this camp was first built. So it was started to come out in 2012, but it started to get really big a couple years after that, 2013, 14, and 15, especially as the Syrian crisis just exploded in the area. So the camp heavily expanded. So they're monitoring the size and activity of the camps just with the night lights alone. So I think this is pretty impressive use case here. So you got to think like in there's lots of use cases. I think this is an untapped area for satellite imagery from a commercial perspective. And
well, I did figure out what SDG 7 is.
Oh, you did figure it out?
Yeah, it is the UN Sustainable Development Goal 7 that is focused on ensuring access to affordable, reliable, sustainable, and modern energy for all. So it's basically trying to conquer energy poverty. So my guess is that this type of imagery is being used to actually track where there's pockets of energy poverty. So places within the refugee camp or other places where they're not having reliable and accessible access to energy, especially around places like hospitals or things that need to have continuous sources of energy. And in the article, they're talking about things like having access to solar and other types of reliable energy sources when the grid fails and things like that. So I think
this is a fascinating use case, as it just shows right here, right? They see the water treatment plants in blue, and that's well lit up. But the hospital area is in red over here. This boxed area is not lit in the evening time.
Yeah, so
this is in the is this in the refugee camp actually? Yeah, I think this is in the refugee camp.
Yeah. So this is for when you're looking at humanitarian issues, especially things like refugee camps or areas that might be under like ceasefire areas or contested areas. It's a way to kind of track like what are the conditions really like on the ground. You might not be able to have accurate assessments of what's going on. This is a really good way to kind of track like very carefully. If the hospital's not running at night, that means that there's not access to adequate healthcare within the refugee camp. Because if you can't run at night, that means there's a lot of people that are not receiving around the clock care. So I think that this is really kind of interesting use case, is that it's looking at ways to, the concept of energy poverty is not something that we really talk about when we talk about sustainable development, but it is absolutely something that is a concern, and honestly probably is going to be even bigger concern in this century than we really have dealt with in a lot of ways, because you can't do anything without a pretty robust energy system, because everything is so digitized. Compared to even the beginning of the 20th century, but there's still a lot of places where they do not have accessible and reliable energy sources.
Yeah, no, absolutely. There's tons of I mean, monitoring energy is one thing, but just the fact that just seeing not just the lights but the activity going on. In this case, they're figuring out where the holes are, where people aren't in the distribution of it. Maybe that equals poverty. Maybe that equals just inadequate power in some areas for the bad infrastructure could be.
Yeah, where people are congregating or where they're, where there's really the density of people living. And it's a really incredible way to really track areas and find out the conditions of areas that we just don't have reliable information about.
So I thought this was an interesting article. I believe we're displaying the article here. It's on the LinkedIn. So monitoring SDG7 progress, 1 meter nighttime satellite imagery. Momader. I think that's maybe somebody's name. That's Paul Momader. Forgive me if I pronounce his name wrong. Founder and chief executive officer at Veritas Imagery Services, who actually wrote this article on LinkedIn. So the next thing I have to show, and I actually found this is kind of something fun. Once again, John Nelson has inspired yet another individual to do something amazing with maps. So John Nelson is kind of like the visualization guru from Esri, and does some really cool user things on the front end, teaches people how to build maps with Esri. This individual decided to play around with some of the lessons by John Nelson to build this amazing ArcGIS Pro Lego map. And so what he decided to do just to play around with it, because so I guess he was playing around with Legos and his daughter, and he wanted to try making a Lego map in ArcGIS. So he decided to do it with children's school districts and display school districts in Lego bricks. So very cool visualization. No real, applicability. I mean, just different way of visualizing it, making maps fun, right? Yeah, and I mean, I've also seen programs translating from Arc to other things. We interviewed somebody who actually used GIS programs and converted the map into a 3D map that he can actually convert to real Lego bricks, and that's how he made a complete Lego map out of New Zealand.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, no, it was very, very impressive. I'll have to put that episode in the lineup for the archive feed, which we're very due to refresh and update because I haven't changed the playlist in a number of weeks and I need to get around to doing that. So it's playing a lot, but probably like 17 hours of old episodes from earlier last year, but I need to go back in time and do some more stuff. So, but very cool visualization. Awesome work, Jasper Alblas, GIS consultant at Holbeck Commune. He's passionate about GIS and web development, apparently. Python and other things. Just reading his LinkedIn profile. we're just what do they call it? We're just trolling LinkedIn profiles now.
Well, I mean, if you're going to put cool things like Lego maps up in your LinkedIn profile, then you're going to get trolled. That's pretty much the standard. I like the colors too. He actually chose some really interesting colors. So good on him for using a beautiful palette.
Yeah. Awesome. So that's all I have tonight. Anything else you want to share? Maps, GIS related stuff?
I don't think so. No, I was a little behind this week as well. So, but we'll keep an eye out for what's cool and exciting coming up on this next week.
No worries. Final things. I'm working on a new lineup for the show, but on the other hand, let's see. I had something else to mention for Project Geospatial. What was it going to be? I totally blanked tonight. I was out in St. Louis. I want to announce to everybody I was out in St. Louis. Got a peek at the city. Can't wait to show everybody maybe some photos and more information coming up from what's going on your Geo Spotlight that were way overdue for May, right?
Yes. Yeah. We do have some stuff coming up. The prospectus for GeoInt 2021 just came out in the last week or so. So that's an exciting take a look and what's going to go on in terms of businesses and folks that hopefully will be coming to GeoInt. And then we've got a couple other things happening, people getting excited for upcoming seasons. And, it's like everywhere else, it's changing. The post-COVID times are kind of here. So I'm really excited to see people get back together and start collaborating and
Great.
Having fun with Geospatial.
Well, this is going to be a short on the fly live show. But on the other hand, once again, folks, if you want to come on the show, Late Night Geo, just send us a message on Twitter, and we'll bring you on any night that you're flexible on. So can't wait to hear from you. Just hear some general stories or just showcase your geospatial project. I'm Adam Simmons with Courtney Miller. We'll talk to you next time.